Hi, my name is Christopher Stevenson, and welcome back to First Light. I just took off my glasses because I keep seeing glare and stuff like that, but welcome back. And today, yes, we'll be doing gardening. We'll be starting off on our little trail. Apparently, I wanted to plan this in February, but apparently I'm on March. So right now, I kind of changed schedule. Right now, I plan on doing carrots and broccoli. I tend to eat them somewhat at the time, but yeah, it's good. It's good. I was planning and taking some notes I'd like to share out, but just a little standard kind of. I'm just gonna standard it. Yeah, should be fine. All right, let's get to it. So, I just wanted to display a few steps on taking on gardening when you first get in. Of course, take off all the grass and everything, get kind of mulch it down. You want to have a dry, sustained area. The first step is always to pick your location and find out where is the sun hitting. I'm utilizing an app. I'm using an app to help me where the sun is direct. It helps you with that, but right now I just looked at my garden and was like, the sun is always there with it. I was like, it should be just fine, but something where the sun can hit on, it should be just good enough. It just needs something like that. Also, I want to display that the thing that I'm using is a raised bed or something like that. Raised bed. There's so many different ways you can make your garden by a raised bed or traditional bed, which is just a flat on the ground. But I'm using a raised bed because usually in my place there's so many rabbits, so many things that come across. I just saw like a cat just wandering by. It could just eat my crops. I was like, I don't want that at all. So I made a huge box. If you can see from my Instagram or something like that, I might display that later on. I'm not too sure. I don't really have the necessary equipment right now to do so, but I think I do. Never mind. I probably do, yeah. Let's see. You also want to select your crops as the second step, which from this time of year I'm choosing carrots and broccoli, which is really good to do. Anything hot weather, like peppers or something that from that category needs to sustain longer, meaning it doesn't need to be sowed, which by sowed is something that it can be where you're already in the garden bed. But yeah, my neck is killing me. My bad. So usually the instructions should be already there for the seed itself, but of course you need to do that. What I've also learned is that it's very important to have compost, it's very important to have sun, it's very important to have water and all those little factors. And I'll be talking about a bit of compost a bit later, but right now my planning for this, since composting would be a bit too long for me, I'm just going to buy off compost. I'm going to try to find out where is the best place, and I'll share that out in my next video. And just kind of sorting seeds. Where do you live? How hot weather? Yeah, crops. Yes, peppers, tomato, melon. Yeah, those are the variety of which that has a hot weather that needs to be inside or kind of covered up, not with the sun too much. And once they get to the proper time, it takes about 90 days, or I don't know. It depends on what the instructions say. Garden space, yeah, raised bed. Garden. From 6, compost soil. You also, soil is incredibly important in sand, peat moss, and manure compost. Clay, sand, peat moss, 2 bags. Just kind of running off. Mold soil, tipo. There's also equipment to use. A fork will be really nice to mulch down the compost to get that starting off. And from compost, what I've learned is that you can just use it for anything from homemade stuff like kitchen scraps, garden waste, leaves and stuff. But you always want to have a good balance, meaning by that you want to have good nitrogen carbon balance. Like say that you have your greens at first, and then you have your browns next, and then it goes to a cycle up to that point, and then you always want to have your leaves at last. First water them down, and then put your leaves so it covers up from, so it has good moist, so that you want to have your soil moist. You don't want to have it too wet or too dry. You just want to have it just right. You'll feel that when you get to that point. It just feels like sand or like something moist kind of a way. Also, weeds are very like the demons of the garden. I've learned that so many times, and now I'm learning that literally that weeds are important to get rid of. When you have weeds, you just poke it out right away. Also, wood mulch is very good. Just wood chips, wood mulch is just very, it's very good for the weeds to get rid of. They usually don't come out when you usually do. Have a bit of tongue twist sometimes. I'm still working on that, little kinks or so. You guys helping me out, right? Keeping the garden, weeds, take out weed, mulch, wood chips, yep, water. Fan sprinklers are very good to when you're out and you just don't want to water it, because of course you're not going to water every day unless you want to. But it's very good to have a fan sprinkler, a pretty darn good one. Well, it depends, of course. You still don't want things cheap, of course, but you want to always have a moist environment and always have your things. Of course, compost is always at the top. It just helps your garden grow more, helps it healthier and sustain longer. You always want to preserve your stuff right away and know exactly what to do. When that harvesting time comes in, when that does come in, you want to have things prepped. You want to have these a little bit like young, like a banana. You know how young they are when they're green. You want to have them green, not like on time, because they'd be too mature and brittle. They'd be like brown spots or anything. If you do like brown spots on your banana or anything from that category of what I'm saying. Yeah. Compost when growing. So when I started growing, when I figured out like, what do I want? What I want from to eat and everything. So carrots, they will germinate coleslaw, seed beds, carrots, soy under clutches. I'm just not sure what that is. Weather worms, remove them, choose. So between 1 inch, 1 inch. Usually they go on a little bit bottom, then they tend to grow. It depends on what it is. I'm just doing general speaking, and also for me, because I'm also doing gardening for the first time. Well, I did it one time, but I haven't done really much about it, and this is pretty much my second time. I hope it gets really good and better. But broccoli, 12 inch, 12 inch spacing. Broccoli needs a lot more when it has that little found out. When I get to the point of making it, I'll put it in the next video, and also I'll once it gets mature or it gets to a certain level of harvest, I'll also put it on my Instagram or something like that, because I'll be still moving forward, or just to put it on YouTube. I'm still working on little kinks, and I'm really glad if you're still staying with me. I'm talking a bit too fast. Still have to work on that. Yeah, and there's a few tools that you can use for lift crops and plants. It's good for organic soil. Rake just keeps everything away a little bit. A spade plant to remove weeds. Hoe, and especially for weeds, stuff like that. So you want to have a firm, moist environment, because of the way let me say this again. The way I'm doing it is that I want to have a raised bed that even my dog won't step in, or anything that can get through. I want to have a good sun, and I want to have good soil, which is just very soft, and that I'm just going to get some at Walmart, and that should be just good enough, just for me, for my standards. If you, but for compost, I'm probably just gonna buy it. But it's better to have, just to make your own. Because why not? It's healthier. It's more. It's kind of recycle for yourself. It tends to not spend that much money anyway, but yeah, it's been a riot. My whole time just trying to do this has been quite drifty, but it's been better. It's getting so much better, and I'm really glad about it. And I'll get that through. I'll overlap the steps that I'm taking by the next video, and I'm just saying what I've known so far. If you have any further sayings, you can comment down below. And if you like this, then go ahead, like it, hit the notification bell, little bell, and subscribe if you do enjoy this and you want to hear me say out these little learnings and go along my little travel. I really do appreciate that you're watching this, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Yeah. Is it on? Is it on? Yeah. You also don't want to have acidics. Yeah. Too much. Anyways, eggshells. Eggshells are good. Yeah. Looks like that. As yeah. Ah, the brown ingredient. Yeah. Well, looks like most of this stuff is covered. I'll probably be doing so later on. Well, thank you for listening, and bye.